and Klay Thompson scrubs his Instagram, scrubs some of the pictures that he had as a member of the Golden State Warriors. Even pictures with Stephen Curry is now no longer on his Instagram page. So What does it mean? Yeah, what does it mean? Yeah, one with the title in Boston, that one got scrubbed. It was crazy. So what does it mean? What does it mean, Warrior fans? 888-957-9570. Is Klay giving us a hint that, hey, I'm out? It's been real. We done with this. Or how are you interpreting as someone who's being immature? Do you think this whole situation's immature? It's going to be an unrestricted free agent. Personally, I don't know how to feel other than, okay, great, he unfollowed the Warriors. What does that mean? I don't know what it means. Honestly, don't know.
Well, I think let's say you're a fan out there that really likes Klay Thompson, and you're not on social media or whatever, or you're not active, and you're not like in the comments ripping or anything. Let's just say just your average Warrior fan, right? Like my mother-in-law is a great example. Loves Klay, not on social media. She's probably thinking something to the like, "Hey, what? We've always rooted for you. Why? You know, that's her. Like, she doesn't get, why the young athletes would do what they do. Like, wait a minute, why are you scrubbing some of the greatest memories that all of us have ever had? Like, we love those moments. I still want you back. And so I don't know how everyone falls, but I do know that, let's say the few that are out there, or the chunk that are out there that aren't negative or are ready to run him out of town or whatever. I think the majority are like, wait a minute, like, we still want you to be here. It might be in a different role. It might be in the same role that you've been in. I'm not sure. But like, why would you want to get rid of those memories? Those were some of the greatest memories that all of us have ever had. And so I think that people are just more questioning it out loud, like, whoa, what's going on? And then the thought of, wow, this is getting more real, that he could actually leave. Yeah. Well, and that this generation is over, and like, no Splash Bros, no Klay Thompson.
Well,
really?
We're all waiting for the mobile text line. I don't know. Sam, we see if this is true, Lubman. Fire up Instagram. Is Klay following Paulo Banchero?
Is that what we're doing?
Basically, that's what they always do. We always do it. Whatever. He's following the Magic. He's not following the Magic. Not following the Sixers yet, but is he following Paulo Banchero? He's starting to play some two-man basketball with Paulo Banchero. Oh, man. Listen, man.
Klay Thompson is following Paulo Banchero.
This is going to be fun. This is going to be a fun process. Klay Thompson, an unrestricted free agent, now following Paulo Banchero. So now the Orlando Magic thing is real. Because we've been talking about this for all year, discussing the situation with Orlando. Like, boy, Orlando will be a great place. They got a great lot of money. They're going to be looking at Malik Monk. They were the 5th seed in the Eastern Conference. You got Paulo and Franz Wagner, two guys you could build around. Cole Anthony plays hard. Jalen Suggs plays hard. They love Jalen Suggs in Orlando. I didn't know that. They love him down there in Orlando. And if he stays healthy, he's a very solid guard who defends at a high level. Maybe it is real. So how are we feeling about this? Because, part of me was, I'm not going to lie, the cynic in me, from all the calls we've taken about Klay Thompson, in the dialogue, you just mentioned that, man, 75% of the calls that we've taken, and maybe the calls are not real life. Maybe the tweets are not real life. Maybe it is. But it was a lot of negativity towards Klay Thompson. I felt like last year he got more heat than Andrew Wiggins. And he played the most games for a member to go to St. Warriors. He took more heat than Andrew Wiggins. Think about that. Klay Thompson, our homegrown, 4-time champ who got hurt, came back, shot free throws with a torn ACL, gave his all. And at the end of the day, a lot of people have a problem with his attitude, right? Oh, he sulks him because the guy cares so damn much. You want a guy not to care? I thought we want our athletes to care, right? And if anything, we could say Klay Thompson cares, right? We all admit that. Can we all admit that Klay Thompson cares?
Yeah, I don't think your assessment is accurate. I think unanimously everyone's done with Wiggins, and I think Klay Thompson, there's more emotion because we love him.
I'm not saying that. My assessment is, on this show, Klay Thompson got more heat than any Warrior on this team last year.
Well, because like, 888-957-957. Wiggins. No one cares. Just no one's going to call in. They're just done with him.
It's not even about calling in, though. It's about what I'm seeing online, what I'm seeing in the papers, what I'm seeing on the headlines, first take, get up, whatever it is. Klay Thompson. And I get content is going to sell. Klay's going to sell a lot more than Wiggins.
Yeah.
But just in terms of basketball, talking about just basketball and on-court play and who got the most heat, who should be benched, who should not be benched. Klay Thompson took the most heat out of any Warrior last year, and it wasn't even close, in my opinion. Wasn't even close. So forget the content, for example. It's just one of our homegrown athletes, and he heard the stuff. That's the worst part about it. He heard the stuff. Trust me, he heard the stuff on radio. He read the papers. He knew what was taught. He dropped 54 points, and this was confirmed to me. He dropped 54 points, and he saw somebody on television say, yeah, how you like that? How you like that now? Like, he hears and listens and reads to everything, which is part of the problem. But my thought process was when he unfollowed the Warriors, and I saw all the rhetoric like, oh my God, how could he unfollow the Warriors? And I'm thinking to myself, isn't this what most of y'all wanted in the first place? Y'all want him gone.
No, we wanted him to take better shots and accept maybe a different role.
And he did that, right? Check.
But you're asking like this is what people wanted, and then they're looking at the team and they're saying to themselves, I'm just saying, like, this is what fans are thinking of, like, how can we build the best team? Well, if Klay takes less money, we can maybe do some more things financially under the apron, and so like that was the algorithm, like take better shots, accept some sort of different role or a version of a different role, and the ones that are acutely aware of the salary cap are like, well, if you can accept slightly less money than what is out there, then we can build the best team. I think people want their cake and eat it too. They want Klay Thompson to stay, but they want him to kind of accept some of the terms of negotiating.
Right. So you want to take less money than Wiggins? Yeah, it's not fair to take less money than Draymond and Andrew Wiggins. That's number one. Number two, he did take another role. He took another role and played a lot better in that role. So again, because I'm around it so much and I'm in the thick of it, not to say that you're not, but being there at the Gatehouse and talking to Warrior fan. Hey, I was at a pool party. Shout out to my nephew, Amari, just turned 14 years old. Mike, who you know on Twitter, Mike Hill, his son. We're at the pool party and talked to a couple brothers, Marcel Jr., Marcel Sr. We'll talk about it. And we're just talking about the gravity and the basket and the way the Warriors play, what's happening there. And it was just, and I was like, Klay did all the things that the fans wanted to do. And how many fans I've talked to over the last year where they said, Klay's got to go. Klay this and Klay that and Klay this and Klay that. And I'm like, damn. Klay could have been an issue, but it ain't the only issue on this team. So now, when he unfollows the Warriors, we all freak out.
Well, I think
that's just fascinating to me.
Well, the freak out. But again, like, when two people are together for so long and then they have a divorce, there's going to be fireworks, right? You don't lose your mind over a person you barely know. You lose your mind over people you quote unquote love. And so I just think that this is going to be. So we don't
love Andrew Wiggins? The guy signed a 4-year, $100 million deal. And some people thought, boy, if Curry didn't exist, if he didn't have game 4 Curry, he may have been in the running for Finals MVP. Now we don't care about Andrew Wiggins?
No, we don't.
What?
Using the analogy of a relationship?
2 seasons ago, signed a 4-year, $100 million deal. Now we don't care?
Ponte, if you think the Klay Thompson connection to the Warriors and the Warrior fans...
I'm not saying that. When you say nobody cares about Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah, but if that's a marriage, Andrew Wiggins was a one-night stand. He metaphorically.
Wasn't.
Right? Like,
he's been more than a one-night stand.
What?
He's been more than a one-night stand.
Okay,
we stayed in bed with him, and he was a guy we did not want to trade. Andrew Wiggins, we're talking about, man, one of the best two-way players in the league.
I mean, that lasted for a couple months. I mean, I'm just being real. Like, we don't care about Wiggins the way that we care about Klay Thompson. And I think Steiny's kind of talked about this for about 5, 6, 7 years. He's like, Warrior fans in their minds thought that this would go on forever. And you don't want to accept, timing and people declining and eras changing and things like that. And I think seeing Klay do this on a Friday night, I think for a lot of people, it started to become real that they're not going to be able to keep this thing together forever. And at some point, we're going to have to turn the page. And I think a lot of people aren't ready to do it. We might talk about being ready to do it.
I love Steiny 6, 7 years ago. You can't keep this thing together forever. Yeah,
well,
no.
I mean, eventually he was going to be right.
Exactly.
But Bonte,
like the 90s and the 90s. I watched all these magazines and articles talk about the Niners in the 90s, right? The dynasty's over. It's done with the Niners. They did it in 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98. And then finally, Steve Young's on the ground on Monday Night Football after getting popped by the Arizona Cardinals and Aeneas Williams coming on the quarter blitz, and all of a sudden it's over. Yeah, at some point it's going to be over. It's going to be over.
I know, but I think the reality of the first couple of dominoes falling, of it being over, like you had Steph, let's call it what it is. Like Steph wasn't as vintage as he's normally. Slight tick down, Draymond, slight tick down the last couple of years, even though he's been better than when Steph was out. And then Klay Thompson down a little and might be out the door. Like these are all indicators of like, wow, this is really coming to an end, and not that it's over now. Like if they kept this group together, like for example, going into the playoffs, there were a lot of people that are like, we could still win from the 10 seed. I mean, we took those calls. Because they were once champions. They could do it. And they're not wrong in believing that. They were just champions a couple of years ago. But they feel really far away. And I guess seeing him unfollow the Warriors on social media, for some people is like, damn, this is the first step of the team turning the page. When the Niners all like fell apart in 2014, 2015 offseason, it was like Willis retired, Smith retired, Harbaugh left. It was like, boom, all of it happened almost so quickly you couldn't even digest it. This has kind of been a slow crush the last couple of years.
Let's go to the lines, man. Let's go to the lines, man. This is great. I love this. I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated by this now. Because I know the calls we took in the last 3 years, and I know the dialogue we've heard. I hear what you're saying, Chasky, but you know what's what. You know what's what when it comes to Klay Thompson. Let's go to Oscar in Stockton. What's happening?
What's up, Bonte? What's up, Shaq? You're definitely right. Because I don't like to call in about this, but Klay Thompson is my boy. And the way the fans have responded to Klay Thompson, I can't believe it. And the way Andrew Wiggins did the last 2 years.
Oscar, I'm going to cut you off. It's been sickening, to be quite honest. It has been sickening. It's been sickening. I'm going to just be real about it. The Klay dialogue has been disgusting. Go ahead.
Yep. And that's the only reason why I called. I'm in here Stockton, laying on my bed. You know what I said? I didn't even really feel it all that well this morning, but I'm like, you know what? This is sickening right here because I'm watching Stephen A. Smith. Social media fans, I was going to scrub mine, too. I just did it on my Instagram for my hot dog cart because I'm going to redo it. That don't mean that he's leaving. And Klay is sensitive. He hears all this because Klay is Golden State Warriors. Klay is a Bay Area guy. And for the negativity from all the fans, a lot of you guys, you wanted to change positions. He did that. Then we had to go back to him because we don't have no consistent outside shooting. But and that's another thing. You would understand. Klay Thompson, his role on the Warriors, it's got to be a starter. I mean, any other team in the league, that's why they're going after him. And I'm just so sad because Klay Thompson is the one Warrior that I wouldn't think fans would be on like that. It is crazy with Draymond Green and the way your boy Wiggins is playing. Why nobody ain't talking about them? And he had two major injuries, and played 75 games this year, I think. Oh my God, I just can't believe it. Like I say, and when he's gone, we're going to have our head down because ain't too many scores in the league that consistent with an outside shot. And Klay Thompson, I'm going to tell you right now, he's in the gym working out. And another thing, Steph Curry ain't going to let this happen, man. Believe that. On that end, man, y'all have a good day, man, and go Warriors.
All right, Oscar. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I don't know the relationship between Curry and Klay. I don't know. And I don't know if he's going to not let that happen. I legitimately don't know because if Klay asks for a price that the Warriors, for their own fiscal reasons, can't afford, it might be out of their control, right? That's one element. Klay might not want to come back. Like that, and Curry might, because he's friends. Like, again, now we're getting into this like relationship, of like the dynamic of their relationship. I don't know. I can't speak on it. I don't want to pretend like I'm in the know, but like they might be Curry might acknowledge that, hey, you know what, Klay, it might be better for you to go somewhere else or whatever. Or he's expressed to him that he wants to go somewhere else for whatever his reasons are. Like maybe there might be one day, B, where you leave me for whatever reason. And I might be like, hey,
why is it got to be me leaving you?
Okay.
Why is it always like that?
Okay,
why do you do this? Me leaving you.
Well, maybe it's me leaving.
Maybe it's me getting
maybe
fired.
Shasky leaves you.
Maybe it's me getting fired or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm always getting in trouble at the station.
Leaving.
I mean,
he said you might leave. He didn't say how.
I considered myself the Curry in this equation, and so
you do that sometimes. No, it's funny because it's good, but it's funny because I got a tweet yesterday about Klay, and it was a DM. Somebody was big mad. They DM me in all caps. I didn't know where.
Oh,
it was like
was it
DM to say hi?
No, it wasn't Brianna. Shout out to Brianna out there in Detroit. Hope you're doing well. Hopefully you got your daddy something very nice. Listen, somebody, they DM'd me, they said, Klay Thompson, Bonte, cost us the last 2 years. He cost us a championship the last 2 years.
That's not fair.
And but you know what, to Oscar's point, there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of delusion going on. How could you sit up here and say Klay, like even bringing it back 2 seasons ago when Wiggins disappeared and Curry was hurt, and Draymond was hurt. Jordan Poole Klay was doing the heavy lifting offensively. He did have a 54-point game, right? I mean, he was doing the heavy lifting. And everybody said, oh, Klay's back. But just stuff like that about Klay Thompson. They say that about one of our own. He's one of our own. Like, you know what I'm saying? I never heard people talk about, even T.O., who basically destroyed this franchise. And for a long time, a lot of people wasn't on the T.O. trade, but we accept him. We accepted him. And a lot of people was on that T.O. trade. I've seen a lot of athletes in this market get so much love. And this guy's at the top of the mountain as a 4-time champ. And the dialogue, knowing that, damn, this guy did have 2 major injuries. Okay, he needs to have some self-reflection. He had that self-reflection. Whether you like to use the word reluctant, well, you know what? I was reluctant to take this morning show gig. I did not want to wake up early. I was reluctant to do it. It got done, right? I was reluctant to do it. It got done. Hell, at times I was reluctant to drop on a knee and say, Andy, will you marry me? But it got done. You know what I'm saying? Klay Thompson, reluctant to come off the bench. But guess what? It got done, and he played his best damn basketball. So to Oscar's point, we've taken a lot of calls. I've seen a lot of tweets, a lot of replies. Isn't this what y'all wanted in the first place? Don't get outraged that he's following the Warriors now. Don't do it. And don't turn your back on Klay. Klay's an all-time Warrior. But part of the reason why I'm here is because I've heard the dialogue, and I've heard the outrage, and I've seen where the energy has been focused on. And we're going to focus our negative energy on Klay when Wiggins went out here and averaged 13 points a game. And Draymond got suspended 18 games.
I just don't think they're mutually exclusive. I think Wiggins, like everyone wants Wiggins gone. Like that on that one thing, I think I just disagree with you on. But like
no, because we did take some calls a couple weeks ago where there was like, you can't get rid of Wiggins. We need perimeter defenders.
And right, I mean, you can find someone who we get people who still want Dwight Howard to come play for the Warriors. I mean, like I can find someone to do anything. Here's the part that I find to be contradictory is that it can't all be a business. And it all be like everything's business with these athletes, and then get mad because you're sifting through social media and you're worried about what people are saying. Like, part of being an athlete is you're going to get scrutinized, and like we could talk about what's fair, what's not fair, or whatever. But like part of being an athlete in this modern day is you do have to find a way to navigate it. And so if he's struggling with the social media, just put the social media down. It's easy for me to say, it's hard to actually do, but like have someone else handle it, and I don't know what to say, but if it's bothering him that much, like that's something he's going to have to figure out. I know, like for myself, when I'm getting blasted on social media, I just literally delete it off my phone, and then I circle back a week later and I try to add it to my phone. I spend less and less time, or I try to, at least on Twitter, because I do find it to be an extremely toxic place. And even then I feel I get myself sucked into the vortex of wanting to respond to people. But I also understand that, like, at the end of the day, it does more harm than good. So I have to be very careful with what I'm consuming and what I'm putting out there.